Excuse me. I'd like to call to order this meeting of the City of Menasha Board of Public Works. Clerk Aliazi, could you please take roll call?
Alderman Taylor. Alderman Kraut-Kramer.
Here.
Alderman Collier. Here. Alderman Keehan. Here. Alderman Zielinski. Here. Alderman Spencer. Here. Alderman Benner. Here. Alderman Nichols. Here.
All right. First order of business is communications from Engineering Supervisor Montour. Could you just give us a little summary of the anticipated start and completion dates for contract 2017-01 and unit number 2017-02 for new street reconstruction, or construction, sorry.
Well, pretty much the Province Terrace project, the 2017-01, I think it's pretty much spelled out that we're looking to complete our construction on Province Terrace prior to the DOT doing their work on Oneida Street and also the work on Midway Road and Oneida Street intersection. So we were contacted by the state and they wanted us to have Province Terrace pretty much completed because Oneida Street is going to be detoured. So to get traffic in and out of the businesses, festival foods, they wanted to have our construction completed. So that's why we're looking to start in April with Province Terrace completion in June. The second contract, we're going to be starting after the completion of the Province Terrace contract with completion in October. The second contract is mostly residential work. There is the new curb and gutter and final asphalt pavement construction in the Silver Birch subdivision, and the rest is going to be either pulverize and resurface or mill and overlay, following the Menasha Utilities water main relocation projects on a number of our streets in 2017-2.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Alderman Benner.
Thank you, Chairman. Tim, who is the contractor who has this? I know we've approved this contract, but who's the contractor that has 01 for Providence Terrace?
That hasn't been bid yet.
Oh, it hasn't? I thought
No.
that.
No, we're looking to have the public hearing.
Oh, that's right. We approved the project and the budget numbers on it at this
Yes.
point, I think. But, so what does the deadline look like on this as far as if they don't perform and get this done on time? Is there penalties?
We have penalties built into the contract, yes. If they are not done with substantial completion by the June 16th, I believe, June 16th date, we can penalize them $250 a day.
How are we defining substantial completion?
Well, it has to be open to traffic, but the only thing that we are looking to possibly not delay, but because of the DOT projects that are going on, we would possibly push the epoxy painting for Province Terrace back, so when they do all the DOT painting, they could also do Province Terrace. We were hoping if we do it that way, we would get a better bid price because there would be more quantity. Mm-hmm. So that would be the only thing that we would not have completed by the June 16th. Now again, obviously weather could be a factor, and if we do have inclement weather that's going to push them back, obviously we wouldn't be fining them for not having it completed. The DOT projects are scheduled to start in August. So we're giving ourselves a little cushion there by ours trying to be done by the middle of June. So we do have a little cushion before the DOT project actually starts and the detour is set up. But again, we want to have it done before we start our second contract as well.
Does the DOT put any financial responsibility on us to have this ready before they start theirs?
No, it was, they contacted us because in discussions with the state, they knew that we were going to be doing this project this year. So it was kind of a timing thing. We wanted to make, or they wanted to make sure that we were ahead of them so we would have our street open for traffic. So it wasn't anything that they're going to be, it was more of a communication and discussion between the city and the state.
So is this street really going to be engineered for that kind of traffic that that's going to experience? As far as any potential wear and tear or even the amount of traffic that's going to go through there?
Well, our street is going to be 8-inch thick concrete.
Okay.
So, and one of the reasons for that, well, that's what it was designed for from the beginning. We were following basically the specifications that we had for the Midway Business Park when we did that back in 2009. We've had discussions with a number of contractors as well as the Concrete Paving Association, Wisconsin Concrete Paving Association, because of the truck traffic, because of festival foods and their loading docks and things like that. And I think we're very well covered as far as design thickness, and our road should be sufficient, yes.
And the trail and sidewalk will both be in before this road is opened?
The trail and the sidewalk will be part of this project, so they would have to be done as
part of the substantial completion?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I'm really concerned about the amount of traffic that's going to be going through there, and sidewalk and trail will be imperative that that's in place.
Basically, the Province Terrace, the reason why the state wanted it done was to get the traffic in and out of the festival foods, because Oneida Street's going to be closed or detoured.
Right.
Now, is it going to be closed completely? It's, the way I understand it, the Oneida Street is a rehabilitation project, the DOT project. They are going to be reconstructing Oneida and Manitowoc Road, that intersection, and they will be reconstructing the intersection of Oneida and 114. But in between, it's going to be more of a mill off the existing overlay, take care of some of the substandard panels, work on some of the storm inlets, and then put a new surface down. So it's not going to be a complete reconstruction, it's going to be a rehabilitation.
So they'll probably have 2 lanes shut down at a time anyways.
It will be officially detoured.
Completely?
Yes, yes, they will have an official detour set up.
Be a fun summer. Thanks.
Yeah.
I appreciate the memo too. It's good to know those dates.
Thank you, Alderman Benner. Any further questions for Supervisor Montour? Alderman Taylor.
Thanks. Tim, when we set a street, we're putting in new concrete street construction, an asphalt trail, and concrete sidewalks. How does that grade get set for those properties? Do we follow their grade, or how do we go about that?
When the area was developed back in the mid-90s, 1996, there was design done at that time. And that's basically how the commercial properties on the east side, they were established that way. Their driveways were established. Now, the Festival Foods, when they came in, they're fronting, obviously, Oneida with their loading facilities and entrances off of Province Terrace, coming off of the rear of the property. We did a complete topo of the area, took elevations both in the street right-of-way and the affected properties, and then we started with the original design that was done back in the 1990s, and then we compared how everything exists now and how it's matching up with our proposed design. And then we came up with the design, making sure that we were matching the festival entrances and the abutting properties to the east. There was some minor changes that had to be made to accommodate where the Festival Foods facilities were coming into the right-of-way, and to accommodate the trail and the sidewalk as well.
Do we go into private property at all if we have to exercise, the grade?
We will have to go into the properties, yes. We'll have a temporary construction easement with the properties, and that allows us to go back in to blend in.
Maybe that's something we could have did on the walkthrough here with the restaurant downtown, huh?
As far
We
as,
could have went back into their property and made that grade the same as it was before or something.
Oh.
Thank you.
All right, any further questions? Okay, thank you, Supervisor Montour. We'll be back with you in a second here. To our action items, our first action item is a change order for Northeast Asphalt Incorporated for new street construction, reconstruction, etc. This is contract unit number 2016-02, and we're adding $37,935.98 to that change order number 1. Supervisor Montour, can you give us a little information on that, please?
I have a breakdown of some of, well, you have part of your, as part of your package, the actual bid tabulation and where some of the deducts and some of the additions for each particular base bid. To summarize some of it, there was approximately there was $17,000 that was affiliate or associated with the additional work that was done at the Menasha Utilities office complex, as you can see on your bid tab there. And also there was approximately, or the total, $3,700 for the Menasha Utilities office complex, and then there was approximately $14,000 of additional work that was done following the water main project, and things like asphalt pavement, additional curb and gutter and sidewalk, things like that. So that's approximately $17,000 of the change order was for following the Menasha Utilities water main and fixing some of the things that were needed to be taken care of prior to the street construction, and then of course the $3,700, and what that involved was doing some terracing in the new parking lot bump out area. It was originally planned that some of that was going to be taken care of internally, and that due to time restraints and personnel, it was pushed back on the contract to get the work done. Another item was approximately $6,300 in sanitary lateral work. We identified some sanitary laterals that were defective on 6th Street, and we took care of those before we did any work. Obviously, we wanted to make sure that everything that we had underneath the new road was in good condition. That is one of the reasons why we're trying to get a little bit more proactive in getting some of the lateral work done completely out of the street section, and that's something that we are looking at going forward. There was approximately $2,400 in additional unclassified excavation, which you'll also find in your bid tab. Basically, what that was, there were some soft areas that we encountered in the sub base that needed to be taken out. So that was additional excavation. And of course, once you take out the sub base, then you got to add more stone, and there is another $3,000 in stone and stone placement in those areas. And the final one that was probably one of the more noticeable ones was the lawn and terrace restoration. In the area of Community Way, the new street out by we're off of LP, our original quantity for the lawn and terracing was out to the road right-of-way. Now, if you're familiar with where that road is, to the south is the area of Community First office or new facility. To the north is an empty lot. Basically, when we set the design on that street, we mirrored the design on the street going into the Lake Park Swim and Fitness as far as grades and things like that. So the whole area between the two streets, and if you look at it now, you can see that it's quite low, and it's filled with water quite often. So we built our street matched where we have to be at the right-of-way. Now, when the property is developed, obviously they're going to build up and drain onto the roadway. To make it at the right-of-way, so there wasn't just a sheer drop-off of our terrace restoration. We blended back into the properties to make them more sellable, more workable. So that's where some of the additional terrace restoration came in on Community Way. Those are probably the most, or some of the overages, and a brief explanation of where they came from.
Thank you very much. Is there a motion to approve? Alderman Benner?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At this time, I make a motion to approve the change order for Northeast Asphalt, Inc. for new street construction and reconstruction, concrete curb and gutter, concrete sidewalk, asphalt pavement with parking area, 8-foot wide asphalt trail, storm sewers, 6th Street, 9th Street, Grandview Avenue, Manitowoc Plank Road, 8-foot wide asphalt trail, a Menasha Utilities Office parking area and paving for Community Way contract number 2016-02 for an add of $37,935.98, identified as change order number 1.
Motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? Take a, oh,
I'm sorry, nothing.
you're good. Any questions? Alderman Taylor?
I think what we heard here, and I'm glad the city is very sensitive to the properties, and that there isn't any big drop-offs, and we have the lawn and terrace restoration. And, you know, when we do big projects like this, or when we do little walkways downtown, we always have to be sensitive to what we're affecting from the adjoining property. And I see that we do that very well here. And in our project downtown, I hope we can go back and make amends to that project.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions? Let's take a roll call vote, please.
Motion carried on roll call 8-0.
Action item number 2 is a payment to Northeast Asphalt Incorporated. This is, as I'm reading through my notes, contract unit number 2016-02 in the amount of $107,665.71. This is payment number 6 and a final payment. Supervisor Montour, can you just give us a little synopsis on that as well?
Well, pretty much again, the attached bid tabulations spells everything out. It is the final payment on the contract with the change order that was previously approved. I think overall the contract went very well. Again, there was a few glitches here and there, the sanitary sewers, things like sanitary laterals, things like that, but that is expected in reconstruction, unfortunately, and it's something that you really can't see. One of the things, and I failed to mention before, was in a lot of our construction now, we're doing a lot of reconstruction, rehabilitation type. 6th Street this year from Racine to De Pere was a total reconstruction. Everything was removed, put back in. But other than that, we've been doing a lot of remove and replace. And when we bid these and come up with the design plans for these, we go out a year ahead of time and mark and note on the plans how much concrete curb and gutter, how much sidewalk we're planning to take out, things like that. We prepare the plans and the bid items off of that and the contracts off of that. Obviously, by the time we get to the construction, we're typically following the gas company in a lot of instances, not on every street, but a lot of the streets. They're in front of us. They want to get their stuff done as well. We're following the water main projects. And again, you know, things where you thought maybe you were taking 30 feet of curb and gutter, now you're taking 40 feet. And it's just the nature of the business, unfortunately. You can't, there's no real hard and fast numbers. And at the end, when you have a change order that sometimes seems to be substantial, that's where we try and identify it in here and explain it through the bid tabs.
Thank you. It's much appreciated. Any questions? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to approve. Alderman Benner?
Mr. Mayor, at this time, I make a motion to approve and forward on the council the payment for Northeast Asphalt, Inc. for the new street construction and a reconstruction, concrete curb and gutter, concrete sidewalk, asphalt pavement with parking area, 8-foot wide asphalt trail and storm sewer. 6th Street, 9th Street, Grandview Avenue, Manitowoc Plank Road, 8-foot wide asphalt trail, Menasha Utilities Office parking area paving and community way, contract number 2016-02 for $107,665.71, payment number 6 and final.
Motion a second. Any further discussion and/or questions? Let's take a roll call vote, please.
Motion carried on roll calls, 8-0.
Okay, that takes us to action item number 3, which is a change order for J&R Underground Midway Loop Work Order 01-15-84. This is an add of $5,915. It's change order number 1, Menasha Utilities. We do have Engineering Manager Grinnell here. Could you come up and give us a little information on this, please, sir?
This project is to loop our north side substation to our metal substation. And the first change order was due to the fact that we had conflict with the DOT right there at the intersection of Midway and Oneida. We moved our facilities to avoid any conflict and have to move anything in the future.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Engineering Manager Grinnell? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion. Alderman Benner?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to make a motion to approve and forward to council a change order for J&R Underground for the Midway Loop work. Work order number 01-15-084, an add of $5,915. This is change order 1, and it's for Menasha Utilities.
Motion a second. Any questions, discussion? Let's take a roll call vote, please.
Motion carried on roll call, 8-0.
Okay, action item number 4 is also a change order for J&R Underground Midway Loop Work Order 115-84. This is an add of $5,700. It's change order number 2. And since we have you here, Mr. Grinnell, could you give us some information on that?
This was a conflict that we had with the boring. There was a bunch of material left from the road construction of Midway years ago that was in the road right-of-way. We could not bore through all that, so the contractor had to excavate it all to get through it, and then again refill it all in and compact it and such.
Happy mess. Thank you. Any questions as I lose my voice? All right, I entertain a motion to approve quickly.
Quick question, yeah, real quick. Is this the end of that installation now?
Well, the frost finally came. We still have to install a switch gear behind the businesses on Midway and Oneida on the south side.
But is our underground work, the infrastructure in at this point?
All the conduit is in. We have a couple little small sections for pulling conductor in that we have to take an outage for, but all the underground conduit is in.
So, but our unexpected expenses is
I sure hope
done.
so.
Yeah, so do I. This time I make a motion to forward on to council change order for J&R Underground Midway Loop Work Order 01-15-084, an add of $5,700, change order number 2 for Menasha Utilities.
Motion a second. Any further discussion? Let's take a roll call vote, please.
Motion carried on roll call, 8-0.
Okay, we are on to action item number 5. This is a final resolution authorizing public improvement and levying special assessments against benefited property, Province Terrace, introduced by yours truly. This is R-3-17. Supervisor Montour, you want to add anything to this? Or it's up to you.
Pretty much, this is to set the public hearing, the special assessment hearing, and that will be, or we're looking to take place on February 20th at the meeting. And then after that, then we, if approved, then we can bid the project, advertise and bid the project.
Excellent. Thank you. Are there any questions for Supervisor Montour? Seeing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve. Alderman Benner?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On behalf of our chairman, Alderman Kramer, I'd like to make a motion to approve and forward on the council resolution R-03-17, final resolution authorizing public improvement, levying special assessment against benefited property, referencing Providence Terrace.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Let's take a roll call vote, please.
Motion carried on roll call 8-0.
There are no other action items, so I will now gladly entertain a motion to adjourn. Thank you, Alderman Taylor. Motion and a second. All in favor?
No?
Opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you.